In this video, I'm going to show you all the actionable tips to speed up your WordPress website, turning it from slow to really fast. And not only that, I have created a checklist document in the video description that you can download for free. So watch the video and let me know how many boxes you can take. Let's get started. Alright, let's start with something that is a bit controversial. Do not use Elementor, use Gutenberg. Okay, if you're working as a website designer and you really need Elementor to do your job, then yeah, go ahead and use Elementor. But Elementor and most page builders out there are kinda slow, bloated, and difficult to optimize. And I have seen a lot of WordPress users are only using the basic features of Elementor, which usually can be replicated in the Gutenberg page builder for free and quickly. Granted that Gutenberg is still lacking some essential features, but you can marry it with free plugins like Spectra, Author Blocks, or Gutenberg to enhance its functionalities. The point I'm trying to make here is to try to make your website work without the need of a third-party page builder, and you will appreciate the speed improvement and it will save you tons of time and money. Again, not for everyone, but give it a try. Next up, switch to block theme. Block theme or full site editor theme is a brand new kind of WordPress theme that is fully customizable and interwoven with the Gutenberg editor. This type of theme is about 20 to 30% faster than traditional WordPress themes, and the best thing about it is almost always free and, in my opinion, looks prettier. You can get a block theme by going to Appearance, Themes, and Block Themes. But if you're not ready to switch to block theme today, just make sure you're using a fast and lightweight WordPress theme. Speaking about fast, do not use slow hosting. Literal and extra 0.1 second of load time costs Amazon nearly $4 billion, which is the epitome of how website speed affects your business. So don't be cheap on your hosting. I personally using a cloud hosting from Cloudflare, which only cost me $11 a month, and it's really quick. But many shared hosting today are coupled with extra optimization, so they are quite close to a dedicated cloud hosting. Next, set a server in your target visitors. If your target visitors are coming from India, then it is only sensible to set up a server that is located or at least close to India. This will shrink the distance travel from the server to your visitors, and it will reduce the load time as well. Use system phones if you can. Most WordPress themes allow you to use third-party phones from Google Phones, but you are essentially pulling data from another source, making your website load slower. Instead, use phones that are pre-installed on the user device like Arial, Helvetica, or Comic Sans. Okay, maybe not that one, but you get the idea. It will save bandwidth and improve your first contentful paint score. Next up, disable hot linking. In a nutshell, hot linking is when someone uses your content like an image to be displayed on their website, so their visitor will pull data from your server even though they did not contribute anything to your website. To combat that, you can disable hot linking by using a security plugin or turn on the feature on the cPanel dashboard. Another way to speed up your website is by using a high compression image plugin. Smaller images would load faster and save you some storage space. Although there are tons of image optimization plugins out there, the ones that I recommend are WP Smash and TinyPNG. WP Smash does a good job shrinking images and it is unlimited. However, TinyPNG has much better compression, although you are limited to 500 images per month. Still, I think that's pretty generous. Let's move on to images. Start using WebP. WebP is a way better image format than JPEG or PNG since it's smaller and supports transparency too. You can use the WebP Express plugin to automatically convert JPEG to WebP and serve it to your visitors. Next, do not use GIF. GIF has been the #1 choice when it comes to presenting an animated picture, but it is still too big in today's standard. Instead, use WebP. That's right, WebP supports animation too, and it has more colors than GIF, and not to mention it's still a lot smaller than GIFs and other formats. Use CDN when necessary. CDN or Content Delivery Network provides a copy of your website that spreads around the globe so it can be loaded faster regardless of the visitor's location. Although it is often regarded as a recommended practice to speed up your website, it is actually not necessary. If your target visitors are from Germany and your server is located in Frankfurt, then there is no reason to use CDN. You can, but it's normally recommended if you are serving global visitors. So save your money and only use CDN when necessary. Moving on, install a caching plugin. There are many types of caching, but in a nutshell, caching is storing the rendered version of your page so it can be delivered to your visitors many times faster. Caching is absolutely needed for every WordPress website. Fortunately, there are great free caching plugins like Let's With Cache, Cache Enabler, and WP Fastest Cache. Each has its own features, but they are more or less worth the same. Minify CSS and JavaScript files. Basically, this will remove empty characters, comments, and unused code from your CSS and JavaScript files. This is easy to enable since you can activate the feature on pretty much any caching plugin. Combine CSS and JavaScript files. This refers to the process of merging multiple CSS or JavaScript files together into a single file. This will reduce the number of HTTP requests, resulting in faster page load times. Just like before, the feature to combine them can be found in most caching plugins. Enable gzip compression. Gzip compression is a fantastic compression technique that can reduce your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files by up to 70%. Again, this feature can be found on most caching plugins, and some hostings even will do it automatically. Lazy load images and videos. Instead of loading all of them at once, lazy load will display content slowly as you scroll the page, saving resources and improving speed. Lazy load can be found in most caching or image compression plugins, and many modern browsers have it implemented natively. Moving on, you must optimize WordPress cron. So cron job in WordPress is a little inefficient. It is executed based on the number of visits, meaning that if you have 1000 visits daily, the same cron job may be executed 1000 times a day, and it is a waste of resources and will only slow down your hosting. Instead, I highly recommend optimizing WordPress cron by using free plugins like Easy Cron or WP Control. Also, it is worth mentioning that some caching plugins or hostings do have cron optimizer available, so be sure to check it out. Next, clean up WordPress database. Over time, WordPress accumulates junk data like transients, metadata, post revisions, and much more. It is always a good idea to keep your server clean from unnecessary data. You can use plugins like WP Optimize and Advanced Database Cleaner to clean up your server. But some caching plugins do have a basic cleaner feature that you can use if you don't want to add another plugin. Remove emojis. WordPress comes with its own emoji data, and 99% of the time it is not needed because modern browsers such as Chrome and Firefox do have their own emoji database to convert some characters into emojis automatically. So you can remove WordPress emojis in most caching plugins, just enable the feature and you're good to go. Next up is to optimize the heartbeat control. In this case, Heartbeat is an interface that allows browsers to communicate with the server. Things like saving your posts and updating settings are controlled by the Heartbeat API. Think of it like an auto-save feature in a document editor. You can reduce the heartbeat frequency, which will alleviate the load on your server, keeping it in prime. You can adjust the heartbeat frequency using a plugin like Heartbeat Control, or in my case, it is already in the caching plugin setting. Next, use Cloudflare. For me, this is no-brainer. By adding your site to Cloudflare, you will get benefits like free CDN, additional compressions, and DDoS protection to keep your site online. Basically, a lot of these offerings will make your WordPress site faster. The tutorial will be too long for this video, but you can Google how to add WordPress to Cloudflare. It is also a good idea to update to the latest PHP version. Most of the time, the latest PHP version will bring a plethora of optimizations that will make your website faster and more efficient. However, keep in mind that not all plugins will be compatible with the latest PHP version. So it is better to just wait for a year or two before updating. It will give some time for the plugin developer to update their code. The option to update the PHP version can be found in the hosting setting. Use plugins with multiple functions. Okay, hear me out. A lot of popular WordPress plugins are actually multifunctional. For example, I could install a 301 redirect plugin to redirect my links. However, I could also use the Rank Math SEO plugin since it comes with the same feature. And if you check my affiliate links in the video descriptions, I'm not using some affiliate plugins. I'm just using Rank Math since it's essentially just a redirect feature. The point is, try to find plugins that you can remove because the functions might be already covered by another plugin. Using fewer plugins will reduce strain on your server and improve your load times, and it's a good practice to keep in mind. Moving on, always check other optimizations that are offered by your hosting provider. So many WordPress hostings have some offerings that will optimize your website speed. This will be unique from hosting to hosting. The hosting that I'm using, which is Cloudflare, comes with its preferred caching plugin, and I can use its page caching feature for free because it is included in the service. Other hosts like Kinsta and SiteGround offer free CDN, and I think it's really awesome. So just ask your hosting provider to see if they have some features that you could utilize to speed up your website even further. Even though it's so tempting to pay for a hosting just because it has free optimization features, you still have to be careful with the pricing. Watch this video so you won't accidentally choose a hosting that is too expensive, and I'll see you in that video.